Okay, we're on Tamar Chesed Beis, and we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines from the bottom, 3 words from end of the line, Rabban and Amri. So yesterday we were saying the bunch of names that people were saying, different Amaram or yeshivas of Amaram, were saying that Mashiach is, and Rashi said that each one said a name that was connected to them. Rabban and Amri, the Rabbanan say, what's the name of Mashiach? Chivra de Rabbi Shmai, the Mitzvah of Rabbi's yeshiva, of Rabbi's house. How do you know? Shneim like pasuk says, Achein, and this is a pasuk that we brought down on Tzaddik Chesed Aleph, I think it was. Rashi brought down that the reason why Mashiach has wounds and bandages is because this is the pasuk that Mashiach is carrying some of the ancient for us somehow. So the pasuk says, "Achin chalyenu hu nasa," our makas he's carrying, umachavenu savalam, and he's bearing our afflictions. V'anachnu chashavnuhu nagua muka l'kim umuna, and we considered him plagued, hit from Hashem and mu'ana and afflicted. So
spiritual.
What? Well, we said that we said that Rashi said that the whole thing that it says that Rabbi Shimon Levi met with Mashiach in Rome doesn't mean Rome over here in Italy. It means the equivalent place in the El Ma'emes to Rome, right? And every place in the El Ma'emes, every place in this world has an equivalent in the El Ma'elyon. Rashi Sprach was. Gan Eden, he called it. Gan Eden who connected Kol Olam. Gan Eden is connected to the whole world. And he said in that side of Gan Eden, that's connected the opening of the city of Rome, the entrance to the city of Rome, that's where Mashiach was. So the whole thing is a spiritual thing. Because Mashiach doesn't exist, according to the way Rashi is learning, in a physical sense in this world. Right? So you have to know what it means. But you see, he's called the Chivras Mitzvah because he's having these mitzvahs. Why does it say the Bey Rebbe? I'm only thinking because it says Rabbanan Amri, right? They wanted to say his name that was like them also, just like Rav Yanez in Rav Yanez Yeshiva. They said Yanun Shemai, so maybe that's why. Al Kapanim. Rav Nachman says, Imin Chayahu, if Mashiach is from the people who are alive, he's like me. Shenemar, like the pasuk says, "V'haya adirei mimenu," and his greatness will be from him. Moshe mikir mimenu means from Klal Yisrael. The strength, the greatness of Klal Yisrael, Mashiach will come from Klal Yisrael. Moshe and the ruler mikir b'yetzer from inside will come. And Rav Nachman, what?
Does the father's name have to be David? Mashiach ben David?
No, ben David means from the house of David. Rav Nachman was the Avezdin, and he was very wealthy. The Rosh Hashiva, and he was very wealthy. He was the Gadol Adar. So he's saying, if Mashiach is going to be from someone who's alive, it's going to be someone like me. Then the next Gemara says, Rav says, Imin Chayahu if it's from someone who's alive, it'll be like Rabbeinu HaKadosh. If it's from somebody who's dead, Daniel Shchamudis. It's like Daniel Shchamudis is the kind of person is who's going to be Mashiach. Now, there's two ways to learn this. Either it's saying that if he's taka from someone who's alive or someone who's dead, if someone is alive, it's going to be Rebbe. If someone is dead, it's going to be Daniel. Or he's saying if it's like someone who's alive, it'll be like Rabbeinu HaKadosh. If it's like someone who's dead, it'll be like Daniel. Not saying that it is someone who's dead. The first shot is that if it's someone who's dead, somebody to be Mashiach, it'll be Daniel. That's the first shot. The second shot is if it's like someone who's dead, well, it'll be like someone like Daniel. Rashi says both shot. Rav Yehuda said the name of Rav. David Achar. Hashem is going to make another David for Klal Yisrael. Shneimar, like the pasuk says, and it's a pasuk in Yirmiyah. V'avdu es Hashem Elokehem. They will serve Hashem their God. V'es David Malkam and David their king. Asher Akim Lahem, that I will raise, that I will establish for them. And the Gemara says, Heikim Leinemer. It doesn't say that Hashem did make David. It says Akim, future. So you see that Hashem is going to make a David come back to Klal Yisrael. It doesn't say David come back. David Achar, another David. So the Gemara says, Rav Papa Abaya. Rav Papa asked Abaya. The pasuk says, "David avdi nasilem la'olam." It says, David, my servant, will be the will be above them forever. So you see that this is the same David. There won't be a second David. The Gemara says no. It's like this. There's taka two Davids. And for the Gemara, Kugain Keser or Palgi Keser, it's like a king and half a king. In other words, the prime minister, the second in command. So it says, the first one says, the first pasuk says, there's David Malkam. So that will be the Melech. That's the new one, and then the second one where it says, the second pasuk where it says, David Avdi Nasi Lehem La'ilam, that'll be the old David HaMelech, and he'll be the second to the king of Mashiach, or the second of the David. We don't know if David is Mashiach. The Rosh Rav Simlai says, what's the pasuk that says? What's the in the pasuk that says, Hoyam Masav Masiyam Hashem? Woe to those who have taiva, have a desire for the day of Hashem. Lama zelachem yom Hashem. What do you want this day of Hashem for? It's darkness and not light. What darkness and not light? I'm sorry, I said night. What in the world is the pasuk talking about? Zak the Gemara, mashal tarnagol v'atalef. It's a mashal to a chicken and a bat. They're both looking, waiting for the light.
A bat doesn't use light.
So the chicken said to the bat, I'm waiting for the light because the light belongs to me. It's something that I gained from. You, what do you need light for? So the Gemara is saying, let's chat in the pasuk. The people who are waiting for the Yom Hashem when Mashiach will come, who are goyim, they're like the bat. And the Yid is saying to them, what in the world are you waiting for Hashem for? Lama zelachem yom Hashem. What do you need the day of Hashem for? What do you want it for? For you, it's darkness and not light, because the day of Hashem is for the Yid. The Gemara says on top, a min said to Bavo, when's Mashiach going to come? He told them, when people like you will be covered with darkness. So he said to him, you're cursing me. He said, the darkness will cover the land, and deep darkness will cover the nations. In other words, the Goyim, like this man. And on you, Klal Yisrael, Yizrach Hashem, Hashem will shine, and His glory will be seen upon you. So he said that's what the Gemara is saying, that for the minim, for the Goyim, there won't be light, the Mashiach won't be there for them. What's that tomorrow? Tanya will learn the Brayso. Rabbi Eliezer says, Yomei Mashiach Arba'am Shana. The days of Mashiach are going to be 40 years long, whatever that means. Shneimar, like the pasuk says, Arba'am Shana. Pasuk we say by Kabbalah Shabbos. Arba'am Shana Akat Badar. For 40 years, I held on. I grabbed onto this nation. What's up is this particular nation. So Rashi says that's what the pasuk is saying. This particular, nation. This particular generation. This particular generation, the particular generation is talking about is the Torah Shel Mashiach, and it's saying it's Arba'am Shana, it's 40 years. He says 70 years, right? Shenemar, like the pasuk says, when we know we already know he has a connection to 70. I remember right? He says the days of Mashiach will be 7 years. Shenemar, like the pasuk says, it'll be that day. Tsar Shivim Shana. Tsar is a country, an island. Will be a Goyish country. Will be forgotten for 70 years. Kimei Melech Echad, like the days of a single king, Melech Echad. Melech Echad is mashma, it's a special king. Ezu Melech Miyachad, who is the chash of a king that we're talking about. Havaymer is a Mashiach. Must be Mashiach, and it says 70 years. So you see, Mashiach will be for 70 years. That's the Moshe Mashiach. Rabbi Amr Shloisha Deris. Rabbi says for 3 generations. Shnemar Yerucha Im Shemesh. What?
Similar time.
Probably, yeah. Yeruchim Shemesh. They'll fear you with the sun. And before the moon for generation and generations. What does this mean? So Yeruchim Shemesh means. We already said a pasuk of Shemesh Yinoin before the Yinoin Shemai. Before Shemesh, before it gets light, Mashiach Yinoin means Mashiach will come. So the Shemesh we know has to do with Mashiach. So when it says Yeruchim Shemesh, it means Klal Yisrael will fear you with Mashiach's coming. And before the Malchus Beis David, Rashi says that it's Nimshal like the moon. Pasuk brings down a pasuk Kireich Yikain Olam. So too, then Dar Dairim, it'll be generations and generations that Klal Yisrael will fear you. What's generations? Dar is one generation. Dairim is two generations. One generation plus two generations is three generations. So Rabbi says that Yomei Mashiach will be 3 generations. Rabbi Hillel says
each star it's how many years? Each
what?
star. When you mentioned a dar, how many years is it?
I don't know. It probably depends on the
Vary.
time. In the times, in the times of, the Asar Darius Shebein Adam Lenayach, right? The generations were very long, right? So it could be it's totally somewhat in the sociology and how, like you said, Hasidish versus Litvish. Okay, exactly. I'm not aware of any shir for a dar. Rav Hillel says, and I was so happy to see this Gemara because when I said the Gemara, we quoted the Gemara yesterday, this Rav Hillel, and I said wrong shot in it. And I'm so happy to see it because now I know the right shot. Because the wrong shot is really bad. I'll tell you in a second. Rav Hillel says, Ein lem Mashiach Yisrael. There's no Mashiach to Klal Yisrael. Shkar achlu b'mei Chizkiah. They already got the schar for this Mashiach in the days of Chizkiah. So what do they have? Zak Rashi. Look in Rashi. It's in the inside column, that halfway down. Ein lem, a little less than halfway down. Ein lem Mashiach Yisrael. See it? Ella, what pshat ein la Mashiach Yisrael? Ella Hakadosh Baruch Hu yimlach ba'atzmei v'yigal milvadei. Hashem will redeem.
Exactly, it wasn't hidden.
Huh?
Hashem
He's saying that Mashiach was in the times of Chizkiah, and therefore there's no Mashiach anymore. But the Rebbeinu Shalom b'chvaydi v'atzmei will be redeemed Klal Yisrael. That's how Rav Hillel learned. Rav Yosef, the Gemara, Rav Yosef says, "Sharei Mari Rav Hillel." The Rebbeinu Shalom should forgive Rav Hillel because he's wrong. It's not true. Chizkiah must have us b'vayis Rishon, because you're saying that the Klal Yisrael had Mashiach Tzeit in the times of Chizkiah. Chizkiah Melech was during Bayis Rishon. It was Zechariah, the Navi Zechariah comes Navi b'Bayis Sheni. He was said Nevuah in Bayis Sheni. In other words, after Chizkiah, and he said, "Gili me'oid bas Tzion, rejoice much." The daughter of Tzion, Hari bas Yerushalayim, Blotshua, the daughter of Yerushalayim. Hine Malkech Yavilach, your king is coming to you. Tzaddik v'noisha, who is tzaddik and a savior who will help you, will save you. Ani, he's poor, v'roich v'al chamar, riding on a donkey. V'al ayer ben asaynas, and on ayers, I think a female donkey. A colt, okay, young donkey. Ben asaynas. So, but this pasuk is talking about Mashiach. So he says it can't be that Rav Hillel is right, because according to Rav Hillel, what's found in this pasuk? This pasuk came after Chizkiah Navi. Must be that Hillel. Excuse me, it must be that Mashiach is still coming after the day of Chizkiah. Time either one in a different place. Rabbi Eliezer Aimer, Yomei Mashiach, the days of Mashiach, Arba'am Shana is 40 years. How do you know? It says over here, Vayancha vayivecha vayachilcha. When Moshe Rabbeinu talks about the 40 years the Yidden were in the Midbar, he says Hashem oppressed you, he pained you, and he made you hungry, and then he gave you food to eat. The man, as Hamana shlo yadatem, lo yad nafsecha. Right, that's the pasuk by the 40 years. So it's lashon of Inoy Vayancha. Chsiv Hasam, and the pasuk says elsewhere in Tehillim, Samcheinu, make us happy, Kimaisi Nisanu, like the days of our pain, Shnai Serino Ra, the years that we saw bad. So it says same lashon of ani, of pain over here. So you see when it says Samcheinu Kimaisi Nisanu, make us happy, like in the times of Mashiach, like the days you made us pain, that's the 40 years that we were in the midbar. The pasuk says Vayam Chavar Yarivecha. Reb Deisamer from the same kind of sprach, but he says no. Same kind of Josh, he says no. Dalid Meishan, it's 400 years. If you notice, in each set of rices, each one the Amr is going more and more and more than the one before. They want to make Mashiach, they want to make Mashiach longer. So Reb Deisamer Dalid Meishan, it's 400 years to make Mashiach. It says Va'avadim v'inu aisam ara Meishana. Hashem says to Avram by the bris of Sarim that they're going to serve. They're going to make. Par is going to make Klal Yisrael work. The Mitzrayim will make Klal Yisrael work, and they'll pain them for 400 years. So you see, pain, the time of Inoy is 400 years. So we have the same drush as before. Rabbi Yemer, Gimel Meis v'Shishim v'Chamishana. This is actually a little less than the one before. 365 years. Kaminyan Meisachama, like the days of the solar year. Shenemer, so 1 year for each of the days of the solar year, so 365 years. Shenemer, like the Pasuk says, Yom Nakam b'Libi, the day of Nakam of Nakam is in my heart. V'shnas Gulai Ba, and the year of my Gula comes. Yom Nakam b'Libi, what was the Yom Nakam? When the Klal Yisrael went and did the Avir of the Egel, and the Rebbeinu Shem said that you get Yom L'Shana, that they're going to get 1 year of 1 year of Einish for each of the 40 days that the Meraglim went into Eretz Yisrael. So when we say over here, Yom Nakam B'Libi, the day of the Nakam is my heart. That's a year, right? Because we're saying the Yom Nakam, each one Yom in the Nakam of the 40 days equal to a year. And we finish it, the Shnas Geulai Ban, the years of my Geula will come. That's the years of a 1 day for each day of the year, and that's 365 days. And why does Rabbi Yehuda Nasi say 365, not 354? I'm guessing because he could say that that's the drush, and he also wanted to make it longer, right? 354 is shorter than 365. Ken Zayin, that's the pshat. Zakdamar Viter. You know, it's a little it's the Vilna Gaon's pshat. The Vilna Gaon's we're holding by the Seder, right? There's machlekes between the Tanam and the Agada if how many makas there were in Mitzrayim. There was 10 by Mitzrayim and then 50 on the Yam, or 50 and then 200, or 250 and 250, right? Right. So what's pshat in that machlekes? The Vilna Gaon says because each Tana wanted to say more than the Tana before him, because the pasuk says Kol machlas shesantu Mitzrayim, all the machlas, all the sicknesses that I put on Mitzrayim, I won't put on you. Ki Hashem Hashem your healer, right? So hayitachin, if the Rebbeinu Shalom only gave 10 by the Yam and 50, 10 by Mitzrayim and 50 on the Yam, that's 60 makas. And the Rebbeinu Shalom is saying 60 makas I won't put on you. But if you learn, that means 50 and 200. Right, that's 250 makas I won't put on. So you want to bring each Tana wanted to say a bigger pshat, a bigger drasha to say that there were more makas that the Rebbeinu Shalom is not going to put on Klal Yisrael. So Kenzan, you can say the same thing. Why do Rabbi Yehuda and Nasi want to say 365, not 354? Because he wanted there to be 365 years of Mashiach, not 354. Okay, Zakdamar Vayter.
What does it mean? Mashiach. It's coming in Mashiach.
I don't know what it means because nobody really knows what it means, I think.
What?
But I don't know what it means because I don't really know what it means. But I think it might mean the rulership of Mashiach himself. Right?
And then what? Mashiach?
Someone else will rule. Trump. Maybe not Trump. I don't think Trump is Mashiach. I was at a meeting today and somebody was talking about Trump and he said, we had a meeting with a marketing company that we hired and one of our board members is a pro-Trump guy and the marketing guy we hired is a liberal and we couldn't get any business done. They were yelling at each other the whole meeting. Okay, so not Trump. Okay. So the Gemara says, the Gemara says, Mashiach, I think this means the days of Mashiach's rule, but I could be wrong. That's just what I thought when I learned the Gemara.
When Mashiach comes, there don't need any more rulers.
What do you mean? Of course you need a ruler. We have a pasuk that says that Mashiach is Muriach V'dan. He smells and judges, right? What does he have to judge? He's going to have to judge. Moshe Rabbeinu and had all the people coming with childless and Dina Torah day and night, right? Right, of course, and it's part of the machlokes that we have. The Rambam brings down, and the Rambam and the Ravid in Hilchos Malachim, I think it is, they're talking about whether it's a machlokes in the Gemara, whether there'll be any difference between, and we had it actually, any difference between now and Mashiach comes. And the Rambam Paskins and the Ravid argues that there won't be any difference except Shivachas. Who's in charge? Is the Yidden in charge? Is the Ram in charge? So it's not so pashut. We're waiting to see. Look, I'm happy. I'm going like Rav Yosef. As long as I'm here, I'll be happy. Rest Hashem will be good, right? Just like Rav Yosef said yesterday, even if I have to be in the shadow of Mashiach's donkeys, dung. What? It's machlokes. That's exactly what we're saying. Yeah. Okay. Zakdamar Vayter. So that's what Rabbi Yehuda Nasi said, 365 days. Now the Gemara brought down this pasuk that says, Yom Nakam Belibi, Shnas Gulai Ba. The Gemara asks, Ma Yom Nakam Belibi? What does it mean, Yom Nakam Belibi? The day of Nakam is in my heart, Hashem says. What does it mean, in my heart? We're talking about the days of Mashiach, right? Rav Yochanan Lelibi Gilisi. Hashem says, I told my heart, Leivarai, to my Ivarim, Kal V'chomer Legilisi. In other words, Hashem didn't even tell his own Ivarim. He's keeping it really secret. When the Kates will be. Rav Shimon Lakish Amar, he says, the same idea. Lelibi Gilisi. I told my heart, Malachi Ashos Legilisi. Even the Malachim don't know when the Kates Hayam, when Mashiach is going to come. Tani Avimi brother of Avo. Avimi said the name of Avimi, the son of Avo, said, "Moshe Mashiach the Yisrael, Shivas Alafim Shana. The days of Mashiach for Klal Yisrael will be 7,000 years." Shneimar, like the pasuk says, who says Chasan al Kala, like the joy of the Chasan on a Kala, Yasa Laich Lekayach. The Rebbeinu Shalom will rejoice on you. So now, how much does the Chasan rejoice on the Kala? 7 days. How much is a day of the Rebbeinu Shalom? It says that one day of the Rebbeinu Shalom. Right, 1,000 years by you is like a day. So 7 days of rejoicing for the Rebbeinu Shalom is 7,000 years. Yehuda said the name of Shmuel. Do you know how long the days of Mashiach will be? It's as long as from when the world was created until now being when Mashiach actually comes. Shenemar, like the pasuk says, Kimei Hashamayim Alarz. We say in Kriya Shema, the end of Vayim Shemaya, that the time will be like the days of Kimei Hashamayim Alarz, like the days that the sky was over the land. In other words, like the days from Sheshis Mei Bereshis. Which is, till now being whenever Mashiach comes. If Mashiach comes today, it'll be 5,785 years to Mesa Mashiach. So, in a way, the more Klal Yisrael suffered and waited for Mashiach, the longer that the Mesa Mashiach will be. Rav Nachman Yitzchak says, Kimei Noach Hadachsha, from the days of Noach until now. Shneimar, like the pasuk says, Kimei Noach Zaisli. It's a shvuah. The Pasuk Pshat of the pasuk is that the Rebbeinu Shalom made a shvuah on like by Noach. But we're darshaning it Kimei, in one word, like the days of Noach. From then till now, Zaisli. This is to me, Asher Nishbati, that I swore that Hashem says that it's not going to make the Mabel again. I'm Rav Chiba Rabba Rabbi Yechanan. Rav Chiba Rabba said to Rabbi Yechanan, Nevi'im kulam le'nisnabu el Moshe Mashiach. All the Nevi'im that said all the good things that will happen to Klal Yisrael, you know what they're talking about? Moshe Mashiach. When Mashiach is ruling. Elam Haba, which we already said a week or two ago, Elam Haba is after Moshe Mashiach. Elam Haba, that the Nevi'im couldn't even describe. Ayin le'ras alakim z'lasecha. Only you, Hashem, have seen. No other eyes have seen what that's going to be. Yasal Machakalai that Hashem does for those who wait for Him. So if Olam Haba is even better than the Nevi'im described, was Moshe Mashiach. Completely the Shmuel. And Rav Chiba Rabba and Rabbi Yechanan argues on Shmuel. That Shmuel, Iben Olam Hazel Moshe Mashiach, this Gemara we just quoted, there's no difference between this world and the days of Mashiach, except who is in charge. So the good times that the Nevi'im prophesied was, according to Shmuel, is not talking about Moshe Mashiach, because he says there won't be any difference between Moshe Mashiach and now accept who's in charge. When the Nevi'im said that good things will happen for Klal Yisrael, they were talking about Balei Tshuva. Balei Tshuva will have this level of good things. But someone is a tzaddik gomer, nobody but you, Hashem, has seen what kind of schar a tzaddik gomer will get. That's the Gemara, very good. And Rav Chiba Rabba Rabbi Yechanan is arguing Rav Bavo. Rav Bavo said, Makim Shval Tshuva Aimdin, place where Balei Tshuva can stand, Tzadikim Einam Aimdin Sham. Tzadikim can't stand there. And there's other places where the Gemara brings down to say Tzadikim Gemura can't stand there.
That's why Hashem answered this not Rivka, because this how supersede his father. It's supposed to about Tshuva, because anything he does is unbelievable, right? Imagine the guy's father is unbelievable. He has to go.
I think that's the opposite. I think what you're saying is the opposite.
Tzaddik is much harder to go better than Tzaddik in Russia.
Right. Well, let's hold off for a second. The Gemara is going to talk about two different scenarios over here. Warachim? He's not starting yet. We can continue. Okay.
Don't wait for us.
So that's success. Okay, so we'll stop over here by Makim Shval Tshuva Imdin. Okay. Shkayach Rabbi. So.